do that again because
My name is Aldana Blaisdell.
Fantastic. Aldana, where were you born?
I was born in Lawrence
Lawrence,
on
Mass.
May the 23rd, 1923.
Fantastic.
That was a long time ago.
A couple of years ago. And grew up in Lawrence?
Yes, until 1942 when we moved to Methuen.
Methuen, okay.
And from then, from
Would you
Methuen,
be okay doing it the whole time like that?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be realistic for you? Okay.
after Methuen, we came to live here with George at Hampton Falls.
Oh, okay. But Methuen through most of your adult life, and you came here with George.
Yes, George was a surprise in my life.
Oh, he was?
Yes, I got married on my 40th birthday.
You did?
Yes, I did.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming a good surprise.
It was a very nice surprise.
Initially, George tells me that you did not believe in ghosts before.
I think the expression is poo-pooed the whole idea. My sister and I, both of them. No, and this house was older. My father was born in 1888. This house was built in 1880. And to buy it, I thought it was very frivolous of him to spend money on something as old as this.
Something because of how old it was and how much work it needed?
Yes, that didn't make sense to me or my sister.
So you were worried about your son?
Sorry, one more thing. I have one there, my card actually got
It just didn't make sense, you know, and then as big as this house is, all these rooms, this is a big to-do. Then he asked us to come and live here.
So did I overhear correctly from George that you think that this house doesn't like you very much?
It didn't like either of my sister or me.
Now, why do you say?
Because we used to go to, as I say, to Florida, and we'd go from before Thanksgiving, and we'd come back when it was April vacation for the children. So we did this, and this is November 2003. And George has already, this is the day before we're leaving to fly to Florida. And George has already taken, he used to start a day or two ahead, so he's down there when about almost the same time we arrive in Florida. And so I'm doing all my laundry and get everything done because I'm going to be gone for 6 months. So I said, okay. So I've got it down, and the laundry room was on the second floor. And it was not this laundry room. This has been done over since that time. And I've got everything done. I was in that laundry room maybe 1,000 times, and nothing ever happened. This day, I've got my hands folded. I got the laundry folded. I'm going, and the first thing you know, the laundry and me, we're on the floor. I looked. What the heck happened here? How could I fall? There's nothing on the floor. Nothing at all. I'm yelling for people to come. I can't get up. And nobody can hear me. There are workmen outside, and they have a radio going that you can hear in China, I think. I finally grab, and I get up, and I go into the bedroom, and my sister says, "What was that?" I says, "I fell." And she says, "Oh, you've been in there 100 times. Where did you fall on?" I says, "I have no idea. There's nothing for me, no reason for me to fall. But let's go anyway." We get to Florida, and the first thing we always did was go get a permanent for our hair. We had loved this little beauty salon there. and the owner is working on me, and she says, I'm going to do something for you. Oh, fine. And I says, what's that? She says, I'm going to give you the name of my orthopedic man. I says, and why would you do that? She says, because your wrist looks exactly like my ankle did when I broke it last year. So I suggest you go see him. I did. And I have a broken wrist, and I fractured my, there's a small fracture in my hip. Okay, my sister talks me out of having I have a cast, of course, on my wrist. My sister talks me out of having an operation. And you don't know these people. Wait till you get home, okay? Can you walk? Yes, I can walk, everything. All right. Okay, well, everybody's health just deteriorates. We have other problems. And I never did get that little fracture fixed. That's probably why I'm in a walker now, you know. And so she says, I'm not coming back. It was every year, I am not coming back to Florida. Something always happens to you. So we go, George has used to, are you going back to Florida this year? And of course, he had a great deal of influence with my sister, you know. All he had to say is auntie, and that was it. So, okay, we're going back. But in 2005, it was November, she says, no, I am not going. I am absolutely not going. But at Christmas time, he asked her, you sure you don't want to go? And he says, how about just from February to April? Then we'll pick you up at the same time. Okay, for a couple of months, okay, we'll go. So we came, this is 2006 now, and Christmas time comes, and no, we're not going. She's, no, we're not going to Florida. Absolutely not going to Florida. My sister was 5 years older than I, so she's, you know, the boss. So it just didn't, he just didn't have, I don't know, he lost his influence, because we could have gone, but it's the last Friday in, actually December. We had already had gone, because Michelle is sick. Well, the holidays just wiped her out. And so this is, as I say, the last Friday in December. And my sister said, I'm going to go check on Michelle. I said, okay. So I'm going back to my bedroom, and the whole family's watching TV in the TV room. And then we heard this scream. You'll never forget when she had a good voice. And it was loud. And I run out and I look, and there she is, sprawled in right out here, right in this hall. She had fallen down. The stairs, we didn't know. George runs out, because everybody could hear her, I think, even the people next door. And he picks her up. He puts her in the chair. I think it was this chair. He put her in, and she says, I broke something. So he says, you want to go to the hospital? I have to. So she was operated on the next day for a fractured hip, a right hip. She went through and the next day, very next day, Saturday, Dr. McGovern operated on her. And we go to see her, and I said to her, what happened? And she says, somebody pushed me. I said, oh, come on now. I'm upstairs. The kids and the dogs are not even around. And she says, I don't care what you say. I've gone down those stairs 1,000 times. somebody pushed me when I got down to the last step. I said, oh, all right, okay, somebody pushed you. We didn't think anything of it. She went through rehab, and George thought going up 18 steps straight as they are is going to be too much for her. So he says, why don't you go to he has a beach condo. Go there. These stairs, you have 7 stairs that are all carpeted, and then there's a landing, and you go to the second floor, another step. So they're easier stairs to go. Okay, so it was on a Sunday. She comes, we go, everything's fine. We go in the bedroom at night, and she says, she tries to get into bed, and she has difficulty, and she would not, I'm not sleeping in here anymore. So from that, she would not, you couldn't, there's nothing you could say. We bought a step, like an exercise step. No, she's not going. She's not sleeping in there. She slept on the couch until she left to go to the hospital and died. She would not go back into that bed. All right. So that was Sunday. She's sleeping on the couch. Wednesday of that week, I get out, I'm in the bedroom there were 2 bedrooms upstairs. I had the one that was further away from the bathroom. And so I get up, and I just take the covers off, and I said, oh my God, it is so freezing. Somebody's got a window open. I wonder if she, just looked out, she can't close the window or something, because she's 88 at this time. So I said, oh, this is freezing. I walked to the end of the bed, I'm heading for the bathroom first thing in the morning. So I get to the end of the bed, and it was like all hell broke loose. Like a tornado, a hurricane, and everything else in the world that could go wrong did. I am smashed into the end of the bed. What's going on? I'm trying to hold on to the bed. I'm being moved. I can't hold on, and I am thrown against the sliders. There's little sliders, glass sliders that go to there's a porch, a little porch out there. And in front of it are vertical Venetian blinds. I can't hang on to those. And I'm thrown across the room, and I mean thrown. And I hit the dresser. There's a dresser right there. There's nothing to hang on to, and I'm being thrown back again. Oh God, I'll be smashing the window. But I never made it. I fell back, kaplunk, my head and everything on the floor. I said, what happened to me? I'm on my way to the bathroom. What's this? What happened? It's freezing cold. I stay there. I said, oh, well, who do I complain to? I can't tell my sister. I get up with a big headache, and I go, and I finally get downstairs. I get downstairs, and she's sleeping on as I say, the couch. And she says, what was that noise up there? I said, I fell. Oh. She didn't ask why, wherefore. She went to her grave and never knew what happened to me. Michelle came on that Saturday to take me to go grocery shopping. And I showed her my body from my knees to my neck. There was not one bit of my body that wasn't black and blue, front or back. And she says, did you tell Auntie? I said, no, I'm not going to tell her. She said, oh, let's stay at home. Okay. So other than a headache, and you're sore naturally after going through that. But okay, we've gone. Thanksgiving that same year, which was 2007, we came over to the house here for a Thanksgiving dinner. And George, you want to go to Florida? No, we're not going to Florida. You come back to the house, my sister says, not yet. We got boxes, we were going through stuff and everything, you know, and shredding and what have you. No, we're not going back. 2 days later, we're going to go, she still was driving at this point, and we're going to go shopping. And I'm coming down the stairs, the first stairs. I come down backwards because of my knees. And I hang on to the railing. And I'm on the 5th step, and I feel this cold. And I felt that cold before. And I tried to grab the railing. I had a pocketbook in my hand. I dropped the pocketbook on the stairs. I'm trying to, I couldn't. I am thrown against the wall. It was only 1.5 steps actually, like before you got to the landing. And I ended up hanging on to the railing and back with both hands, and I yelled, "I'm not letting go." And my sister, she calls, "What did you say?" I said, I don't, she doesn't know what happened before. What am I going to do? "I'm ready to go." I says, "Oh, okay." No, I'm hanging on. I said, "I'm not letting go." And until I felt the air, the warmth of the heat in the house as it was, I did not let go. And I came down. My sister never knew what happened. Never. She went to a grave. She died last year. It's almost a year ago, the 30th of August. And oh, what happened? The hit in the head. Well, George thought we needed wills, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Have a will.
We're in the 80s, so we need a will. Okay. He makes an appointment. We go to the lawyer, have it happen. He's bringing us home, and he says, "Ma, how would you like to go to see the Rockettes?" I says, "The Rockettes? I'm not going to New York, either flying or driving to see them. I've seen them. That's where every kid used to go to see you when you went to New York. That was the big place. And everybody saw the Rockettes." "No, I don't want to go to the Rockettes." He said, "No, Ma, like we went last year." And I says, "What do you mean when we went last year? I didn't go last year." He says, "Yes, we did." And my sister, I'm in the front seat with George. My sister's there. "Oh, yes, we did. My neck is still hurting because we had to look up at the stage. We sat in the very first row." I says, "I don't remember that." I said, "How did we get there?" And he says, "We went through," he named the tunnel. I don't know, it was Callahan or, well, I don't know what it was, the name. I said, "Went by a tunnel." I says, "I don't go through tunnels." He says, "You're telling me you squawked every inch of the way." Everybody told me that we were at that performance in the front row, and this is years later. I don't know. I have none. Now it's a big joke. If he says anything to me, and I can't remember, "Oh, it's with the Rockettes." In fact, as strange as this seems, Sunday we went to the cemetery. Well, it's almost a year since my time. We brought flowers, and we're going home. He says, "I'm going to give you a treat, Ma. We're going to go home Route 110. That's years ago. If you wanted to go to Salisbury Beach or something from Lawrence Smith, you went 110. Okay, we go 110. He says, how about skips? You remember that? I said, yeah, it's still there. Well, we could have forgotten that, but we go around the road, 110, and in still Methuen, actually, right?
Bethune, yeah.
Yeah. And I see, well, the first thing that actually happened was when we were going to the cemetery. And the fellow that bought our house was George's best man in his wedding, and he was best man for each other. And he died in 2006. So he's buried in the cemetery right before where my family's buried. So we stopped there, said a little prayer, and we're going through, heading for our cemetery. And George says, do you remember when Pete died? And I said, well, no. And he says, you don't remember in church I said the eulogy and you told me there wasn't a dry eye in the house? I said, no, I don't remember. And he says, well, that's what happened. Well, okay, we're heading home, Route 110. I see this sign, NECC. And I says, what does that stand for, Judge? And he says, Northeast Community, huh?
Northern Essex Community College.
Northern Essex Community College. I said, oh. He says, Ma, I went there for 6 months. I says, you did? And he says, yeah, don't you remember? I wouldn't have got Social Security if I hadn't been enrolled in college by the time I was 18. With the Rockettes. Absolutely no. I don't know if I might have had to pay for tuition. I don't even remember if I did that.
You did.
Huh?
You did.
Did I have to pay?
Mhm.
Yeah, I paid it. Good thing. Good thing it was before, not after, But, so the Rockettes have a treasure of things. How do you remember what you've forgotten? I don't know. I'm 89 years old. There's a lot of memories.
Yeah. You find out when somebody reminds you.
Well, yes, a lot that pops up. And that's when it's with the Rockettes. But now I know he's, now I know I paid tuition for him to go.
Right. Wow.
That we all cried at Pete's funeral, I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
That was wiped out. So it's after the knock on the head.
And it sounds like you took a couple of knocks in the head. The time in the laundry room, when you broke your wrist, that probably hit your head then too, and the other time.
Yeah, well, we're still in, like with Band-Aids, we're still in one piece.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you very much for your time, Al. This is
Oh,
really,
you're
really
very
wonderful.
welcome.
No, it's well.
Yeah.
We'll stop there.
Is that what it was? That I'll tell you. If someone told me this same story, I would not believe it. I would be, well, a little too much gin in the Tom Collins, right? But it was me. I know what I went through. If anybody doesn't believe me, that's their problem. I know what happened. And it was scary as hell. Down there on the floor, and I'm looking up, and I still have to pee.
After all of that.
After
still-
all, that's where I was going the first